Oh, hey there, friends. How's everyone doing this lovely Sunday morning slash afternoon slash evening slash Monday if you live in Upside Down Land? How are you today, Eris?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. The jazz piano in the background is really like vibing up the vibe of this very nice bar we're at. Are you a piano bar girl? Have you ever been to one?
No, I have not.
I feel like it could be your vibe. It's like plush couches, it's very quiet. There's just a dude just jamming on the piano. I,
Mhm.
I love to take my book there and I read. That's only because I'm
Ooh.
a nerd. Well, hey, chat. Welcome in. God, we haven't done one of these in a hot second, but we're doing it again. Welcome
Mhm.
to What Lives Between. I know many of you are probably often here for the loud, rowdy, kind of irreverent podcast I do with Nomad and Vogue, but this is a bit different. And so I'm gonna talk a little bit about this before we go in. Um, if you guys are here for the first time, this show is called What Lives Between, and it's a little different than the content you might normally get from this channel. Every episode, I sit down with one person. My job is to just ask questions and then let them tell their story. Tonight, I'm sitting down with the lovely, the incredible, the super talented Eris Serenity. Um, I invited them here because I know her quite well, I think, at this point, and I think there are pieces of her story that you guys are going to find interesting and compelling. Um, Something in how they create, why they create, or who they are underneath everything that you may see. Before we begin, I want to be really clear with you guys in the audience about what this space is and what it's not. Uh, I really see this show as a conversation between two friends. Maybe it's the stranger you meet at a bar who you feel a connection with. Maybe it's someone you haven't caught up with in a while. But I want to be really clear that chat, like, you guys are more than welcome to be here. We love you joining us for this. But this is going to be sort of a more one on one conversation. That means I'm not going to take questions from the audience or commentary. I'm not going to do shout outs. If we get rated, I will maybe briefly acknowledge it, but we're not going to do the normal, like, oh my God, like fireworks go everywhere. Um, what are the key things I'm going to ask you guys in the audience for here is sensitivity, respect. Topics we touch on tonight may be personal, they may be heavy, they may be things you don't know about Eris, despite the fact that I know some of you have followed her for, what was it, Eris, like almost 5 years you've been streaming.
6
Oh my
almost.
god.
I know.
Your little stream baby is in first grade.
My little stream babies. Please never say that again. Oh, please.
Okay, I'm gonna use the phrase "stream baby" as often as I can in this.
Oh my god,
Um,
no.
um, I would urge you guys, if you're not sure about what's allowed here, there is actually a section for rules for this show down below. But it's really like, Eris is here. She's sharing her story with us. Hopefully, the things she say resonate with you, and given that I know her very well, I think they will. But even if they don't, I will not tolerate like dismissiveness, anything like that. Um, if you guys can't behave, I'm more than happy to remove you. Um, so, as a broad note, I don't exactly know where the journey tonight goes. I think you guys probably know me enough to know that these conversations can sort of wend their way. If at any point the topics become difficult for you personally, take care of yourselves. We talk about heavy things on this channel, and I don't really know where this will go, but it could go there. And so, Eris, if there's anything you'd like to say to the room before we begin, the floor is yours, girl.
So I have been told not to put on the Eris persona, so The woman that's talking through the mic is the woman behind the voice, so hi. We don't
Oh,
get to talk that often. And yeah, this should be fun. I haven't really been put on a spotlight thing before, so this is gonna be interesting to say the
yeah.
least.
It is so interesting because, for the benefit of the audience who may not see us interact off stream, I've gotten to know Eris quite well over the last, I would say, like 6 to 8 months. Um,
Already? Oh my goodness.
I know, right? We could almost have a stream. Yeah, I can't do it. um, and yeah, obviously, like, those of you who watch her will know, like, I love tuning into your streams. You're so entertaining, you're so talented. But also, it is really cool to also see Eris kind of lose her shit sometimes when she's not in front of 50 people. And I don't know that people have really seen us interact all that much, but
Not really, I would think.
I kind of treat Eris like my irresponsible little sister. She's always up to some shit. She's always giving me shit for some reason.
Because it's so easy.
Yeah, and I'm sort of like, I like to think if like the streamers were a family, you and Nomad are kind of the nucleus, and I'm kind of like that like out of town uncle who drives a motorcycle and everyone knows like maybe has connections with the mob but isn't quite sure where all the money comes from.
Okay, okay. You know what? You're making yourself seem a little too cool. Okay, we
Okay,
need to bring
yeah.
that back down to
But
reality. Let's knock
yeah,
you off your pedestal a little bit.
but he also has a tattoo of like his Dungeons and Dragons characters on his chest.
There you go. There you go. That's better, chat. That now we're getting the nerd out.
The I my lovely partner is super tattooed, and she keeps trying to get me to put ink on. And what I really want to do is I really want to do like a nerdy sleeve from like all the anime and video game characters I love. Sadly, I can't do it because of
Ooh,
my work, but someday I will let my freak flag fly and just be
that
nerdy as fuck.
that would be so cool.
Yeah, I really want to start with the Triforce. I'm such a hoe for Legend of
You're
Zelda.
such a basic nerd. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's like the equivalent of Uggs on a white girl. Like I got my pumpkin spice latte, babe.
Oh my god.
All right.
Basic nerd.
Well, yeah. You know what? The classics are good for a reason.
All right.
So I know I asked you this sort of settling in, but how are you feeling walking into this? I think this is something very different than what you maybe normally do.
I'll admit I'm a little nervous. But I'm good otherwise. I have coffee. I have a
Yeah.
Bryn guarding the door. Um,
Bran, what an angel.
she is. But yeah, I feel pretty good about this. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. And I think, it was interesting because we do a pre-interview for this and it kind of helps guide the questions. And it's always interesting to see how someone feels day of, because I think for a lot of streamers, like, I don't want to say put on a persona, but there is like an Air Serenity character,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Something that's very easy
Mhm.
to slip into. And for this, I'm asking you to take it off, which is like vulnerable, right? Like you're putting yourself out to the world, just who you are.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
dare? How
Luckily, that
dare?
person is pretty awesome. Um, so, I think much of chat knows you. I mean, let's be real. You're the star power on this stage. Um, but, they know Air Serenity. I think my question is for the girl underneath, how do you introduce yourself to someone who has maybe never heard of you or doesn't know you? And I'm not talking about what you do, right? I think that's so American. Like, oh my God, my name's Dom. I work in finance. It's like the first thing people will say. It's like, no, like, who is really the girl behind the mask in a quick intro?
I would say someone that is fiercely protective of those around her.
Okay.
Very much a nerd, but a bit
Huge nerd.
quiet when you first meet her. Definitely someone you'll need to crack the shell open in order to actually get into the fun stuff and whatnot. touch-averse. I need to know you for a while in order to even get a hug from me, which is really funny for some people,
Mhm.
especially people that are like, "I'm a hugger." I'm not. Um, so that's always fun. And yeah, someone that is extremely stubborn and once she sets her mind to things, goes for it and accomplishes them. Whether it's accomplishing successfully or accomplishing by tripping her over, her own feet and falling flat on her face over and over again and getting up because of stubbornness and spite, that remains to be seen.
Accomplishing by pure force of personality is such a vibe.
Yep. That's me.
It's interesting because I remember when I met you and I got to know you, I was like, "Oh, Eris is the black cat girlfriend and Nomad is the
Yes,
golden retriever boyfriend." And the more
kind
I
of.
know you, yeah, the more I see that there's definitely truth to that. Like, you are, I don't wanna say standoffish, but, like, withdrawn, I think. I can absolutely see you being touch averse, like, maybe you're like a high fiver.
I am very much a fist bump girl. Like, I'm like,
Oh,
okay, good job.
yeah, that
She did it. And then obviously when people have known me for a while, then it's like hugs and whatnot, and like I'll let you use me as like a post to lean on.
yeah.
As long as I can use you for shade. I mean, that's the trade-off, right? As long as I can use my friends for shade during really sunny days, then they can use me as an armrest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the benefit of having a short friend. Like you're like a portable armrest, and it's great. Sometimes because when you're tall, you got to carry a lot of weight of being better than everyone else, and so when you can just lean on someone who's shorter, it's like just a moment to take that
Wow.
off.
Okay. Okay. I want you to know that you guys are shades. You're also that claw thing for us, the extender claw. Get
That
that for me on
claw
the top
thing.
shelf, please. Thank you.
It
Uh,
is.
so
It is funny. So like when I moved into my apartment, I stored things very logically. I was like, "Oh, like I can reach everything in here." And then my partner moved in and she is fun sized and now she bitches all the time because she can't even reach the middle shelf.
I feel for
Like
her. I feel for her so much as another short woman. Oh my
I
god.
I put the tote bags above the washing machine, and they're probably like 6 feet, 6 or 7 feet, and she
Oh
can't reach
no.
them. So every time we go shopping, I bought her a little step stool.
Sir, just put them in a shorter area. Just get a little cubby and put them in there.
No, it's funny because it's very cute.
Oh my god.
So you talked about like being a bit of a, I'm gonna call it a black cat girlfriend, although I think not quite all of those apply to you. Um, do you think the do you think you would have answered the same way if I had asked you 5 years ago?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would have said it was even worse. I was a lot more high strung. I
Hmm.
didn't take jokes as easily. I constantly had to try to defend myself or prove myself.
Mm.
Welcome to first generation Latina and oldest daughter. I had some things that I had to unlearn. So no, if I would have said if you met me 5 years ago, it was a lot more. Uh, I was a lot more like, no, I know what I'm doing. I totally know what I'm doing. How dare you suggest I don't know what I'm doing? I'm totally in control of what's going on right now.
The
Oh,
confidence
ma'am,
of the
no, you
mid
were not.
I was gonna say the confidence of the mid-20s to think you got it all figured out.
I it's really funny that you say that because my coworker and I, and it's a coworker that I have incredible philosophical conversations with when it's just the two of us. And it's kind of funny. We were actually discussing it, and we kind of both came to the same conclusion. In your teens, you think you know everything, and you really do believe you know everything. In your
Mhm.
20s, you start to find out that you don't know everything, but you're too fucking stubborn to admit it. So you keep acting like you did in your teens that you know everything. It isn't by the time until you hit like around the late 20s, and then especially in your 30s, where you're like, I fucking don't know what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure everyone else around me doesn't know what they're doing. No one knows what's going on. And half of this is either going to be dumb luck, perseverance, spite, or something else. And I'm just going to have to roll with it and be okay with it. And that's totally okay.
Yeah.
It's that final realization of, no, we don't know what we're doing, but it's going to be okay anyway because we're going to figure it out.
Do you ever think it's crazy? I think about this all the time. I'm now older than my parents were when they had me. I have no idea how to take take care
Oh,
of a child.
no, I mean, I do just because I was the eldest sibling, cousin, everything. So I had training from a very young age of how to take care of kids. I even did coaching my brother's soccer league, who's 7.5 years younger than me. I taught CCD. Do not question that, chat. I am not Catholic anymore. um, what's it called? I had so much training with kids, but even now I kind of look at my mom and I'm like, because she did the same thing I did. She's the eldest in a Latin family, which means she was trained and everything for it. So she was a little bit more knew what to do. My father, I don't know how he handled it because he was the middle child in a Latin family and a guy, which meant taking care of kids was not his prerogative. Sorry. And
Mm,
he did such a great job with it, with not having the best influence from his dad. But I kind of look back and I'm like, how did you, like, I know how she handled it. How did you handle it? And honestly, he told me the other day, he's like, honestly, Eris, I just did whatever your mother said. It was like, you know what? That's fair because you didn't know what you were doing. He's like, I had no idea what she put you in my hands, and I went, I'm gonna break this one. I'm just gonna
yeah.
break it. This child's not gonna survive past two. And that's how I sometimes feel like if I ever had a kid in my hands, I'm like, oh no, I don't even have myself figured out. How am I supposed to like how would I ever even figure out how to even handle whatever this is?
100%. He's a wise man. Something
Mhm.
I've also learned is that you should always listen to your wife slash girlfriend. It's just easier that way. It's just better. I, it's funny because when I was growing up, you see in media all of these like male dominated households. And I was like, my household was never like that. Like mom laid down the
No.
rules and dad just fucking nodded his head.
Mhm, same with mine. It was very much a matriarch family, which is kind of funny, with my culture, but it was very also, like, on par, which was the women take charge of the household. They took charge of how the kids are raised, how things go, how events happen, and the guys just need to, like, back off if they want the chaos to be contained, because there will be chaos, but at least it'll be contained, planned, organized chaos.
Yeah. It was
Instead of whatever the hell happens when they, go, "Okay, you could be in charge," and all they have to do is learn that lesson once, and it's like, "No, thank you."
yeah, no, I don't want to be in charge. I just want a little bit of peace and quiet.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Well, speaking of kids, you're
Mhm.
obviously super creative now, but were you a creative kid, or were you someone
Yeah.
who had things inside of them that like didn't really know how to express it yet?
Um, I would say I was a super creative kid. I learned to write down my feelings at a very young age, and my parents have always encouraged writing as an outlet, which it was at the time. It served as an outlet, but it also served as a creative process. I also liked journaling, scrapbooking, photography was a big one of mine. I loved photography. It's something that I actually want to get back into very badly, like
Was
get an
it
actual camera.
was it like the black and white photos of like trash on the
It
street? Like what was your inspiration?
it was a lot of landscape actually. I
Hmm.
liked taking pictures of the area around me. Like even now if I look on my photos for my iPhone and stuff, it was a lot of me playing around with the features on it, the lighting, the different filters, the focusing and everything. So photography was something that I did a lot of that I would like to get back into. Um, what's it called?
Interesting.
So yeah, so that was one, and then yeah, writing and a little bit of drawing. I'm not a very good artist. I leave that to Pally and Dee and Shizu. Like I don't touch that medium. I'll like voice act and stuff. Hey, Bryn. Sorry, my cat's in the back.
It's all
But
right. I
yeah,
don't think
so
anyone's gonna complain about a little Bren on the
cat.
screen. I should have we should have gotten like a little cat.
Right?
Why is do none of your avatars have a cat on the shoulder? I feel like that's a mess.
No, I don't have a cat on the shoulder because she doesn't really like to cuddle, so I feel like that's a misnomer to her. Like, I don't.
Mm,
She's not very big cuddler. She's very much like her mom. She's touch averse. She's like she'll take up being like being held and everything, and then immediately go, okay, please let me down now and let me do my own thing. Thank you.
we should like wire Bren with a mic and get her own little gift tuber, and she can just like wander around the screen. Um,
Yes.
That's funny. I love that wait, is Brit a black cat, or is she a different kinda cat?
She's a gray cat, actually.
Okay, there you go. It's like mom, like cat.
Yeah, you have no idea.
So, you talk about from an early age, like, being, having all these creative outlets, creative ideas. Was there someone who showed you that, or was that just something that you've always had?
Um, yeah, my mom was a big component in it. My mom's always been a very big craft woman. Like, she used to make my Halloween costumes when I was a kid. Uh,
Mhm.
from, like, Joanne Fabrics, getting the what's it called? The actual kits and everything, and learning how to craft them and everything, and she's always been a very big, like, crafty person. Like, she likes scrapbooking and card making, and my aunts too were very one of my aunt loved dancing, so she kind of passed that on to me. Another one was very big artistic wise. What's it called? One of them is very big into fashion, so she used to express herself with her clothing and everything, and she tried to pass that on to me. It did not work. Um, so it all I would say all the women in my family have very artistic sense to them, and they've all shown that stuff to me. And even my father and the men in my family, like my father's a musician. My father expresses himself through his music. He plays so many instruments and everything. And when I joined the choir, he was like so happy because he's like, okay, you're getting into some form of music. Thank you. Um, so that was like a big one for him. And he's always like, my brother and I are very particular in our music tastes and very technical. Like, we'll listen to like sounds and riffs and be like, oh, that's a really good one. And I'm like, my brother loves to isolate music. Like, he'll take different parts of it and like isolate the bass, the rhythm, the melody, the harmony, and he'll like kind of remix them for his own kind of thing, and he'll show them to me, which is really cool. So, but yeah, I would say all of our family is pretty creative. So I always had like outlets, and then also people like showing me their creative sides too. So, and the cool thing about my family is that none of us are really the same creative. We're all
Mhm.
a different creative, but we're all creative in some way. So that was never like looked down upon or like kind of nixed or told, you know, well, this isn't going to do anything for you in the future. It was always like no, you should have it because it brings you something, and it brings you something more than, money or traditional success will. It brings you peace. So
Yeah.
you should have it in your life.
When you're surrounded by all these different creatives who do all these different things, I don't want to use the word envious, but is like if you could choose, I think, and I think to sort of provide background for this question, I think I'm a storyteller. That's my creative outlet. But I look at people who can do art, like Pally, like create physical art, and I'm just so impressed by it because it's a skill I don't have. Do you ever like look around you and say like, oh, like maybe this is something I'm like, I don't want to say not good at because I think with enough effort you can be good at anything. But is there one like creative endeavor that you wish you were like maybe naturally gifted at or had a passion for that you don't?
I think my father's gift of music, because he never learned actual traditional music. He taught himself how to play guitar just by listening to music. And
Mhm.
his way of learning music is actually listening to a song, and then he can repeat it back to you with his own flair. And he just knows, and he's taught himself so many instruments: piano, congas, drums, violin, guitar, bass, and all these things he's taught himself. But it doesn't ever sound, and no offense to anybody that learns how to play technically, by the way. That's an incredible achievement on its own, so I want that said first. Um, but the fact that he just has that innate gift and it never sounds technical, it sounds like he's talking through a different language. And I've always been a little envious of my father for that, just being able to pick up an instrument, play around with it for a few hours, and then just make something amazing with it has always been something that I've been like, God, and he did try to get us into guitar lessons and everything, but my brother and I never picked it up. That wasn't our form of creative. We did try. We could play Smoke on the Water, and that's about it. I think everybody
Hey,
can at this point. But
and
yeah, so I feel like if I could trade with anyone, I would love to borrow my dad's music gift at some
I'm
point just to be able to play a guitar.
I'm so with you. I have a and Vog will tell you because she had to fix the way it's on the stand every time he comes over because it's one of those things I can never get right. I have a guitar in my apartment, and that was like my COVID thing. I was like, I'm gonna
Mhm.
learn how to play the guitar, and I spent I'm gonna say like 400 hours trying to learn the fucking guitar. I am abysmal. I am terrible. It is like I firmly believe if I practiced enough, I could get it, but I'm just I like, 400 hours in, I can play like a couple songs and I'm like, okay, like this is as good as it's gonna get until I like retire or something. Um and so I'm right with you there. I am very musical. Like I actually have a very good ear for music. I can and a very good memory for like lyrics and
Mhm.
everything like that. But I cannot for the life of me play guitar. Speaking of that, so I started my guitar attempts during COVID. If I count back roughly 6 years, you were also a COVID creative. So I think what
Mhm.
I want to ask is I think a lot of people they have creative endeavors and but they're always like, oh, I'm waiting for the right moment. Like I need this equipment or XYZ, the right setup, the right circumstances, the right, confidence. Did you wait to create or did you just go? Like, what's the origin story of Eris Serenity?
No, I would say I didn't just start at the beginning of COVID. Like I was going through it like everybody else, I think. I think I was adjusting to the new normal as it was being
Mhm.
called and just, very cautious. I mean, luckily I had roommates that I spent COVID with. So I had people in my orbit that I could, rely on and everything and just talk with and whatnot. And, one of my roommates and I were talking one day and he's like, "Hey, you're a very vocal person, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Have you ever kind of tried listening to this kind of stuff?" And it's like, "No, but maybe I'll give it a go." And I did. And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. That's, this is kind of, wait, they just get in front of a mic and they just do it. That's kind of cool." So then I just started writing for people, and then people know this story. Like I got fed up enough that I wanted to tell my own stories, and so I did. But it wasn't until like I think like maybe 6 months in, maybe not 6 months. Yeah, no, 6 months into COVID that I actually started doing anything of the sort, of
Mhm.
even writing or putting scripts out or anything like that. Um, and so it didn't just automatically happen like I was, sitting around. I was like, okay, well, I'll do something. It was a lot of, oh God, what's going to happen now? And are we ever going to be able to go outside again? And this is not how I expected my first year in Boston to go. So it was very much of a gradual kind of like, could I do something like this? And then I did it and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. This is fun more than anything. And it was something that got my mind off of what was going on in the world around me, because it was a scary time. There was no vaccine yet, there was no anything, and I mean everybody lived through it, so I think everybody knows what was going on. And
Yeah.
I had family members unfortunately that had gotten it. So they're all okay. They're all alive with us today. Thank you, universe. But I was worried at the time and everything because I had family members working in the Jarvis Center actually, which was used as the COVID hub.
Mhm.
So it was very much a scary time, and being creative helped me to kind of chill, relax, open up, be a little bit more, have more fun without just like, losing my mind in cabin fever mode.
Yeah.
And I was very lucky to also have friends that encouraged it. My roommates absolutely encouraged it, and to the point where my roommate commissioned both me and my other roommate, who at the time wanted to try voice acting, to do a yandere toaster script. Best
Oh my
$25 each of
god.
us ever made.
Does that does that still exist?
It still exists. It is still up. It is
Okay.
it is the reason why I have a toaster with a Warhammer logo on my channel, is an on there we go, unknown, is in honor of that script.
Someone please DM
It's unknown,
me
just
the link to this to because I need to listen to it now.
oh, you need to listen to it. Yeah. So I mean, it didn't just happen. It was very much a progression, and then it was just being like, "Oh, hey, I have this equipment at work. Let's actually make a go of this and just have fun." So,
And Yeah, because so in our pre-interview, this came up, which is something I didn't know about you. You just happened to have this equipment at work, and they just
Yeah.
happened to be like, "Hey, Eris, go use it," or is that really how it happened?
No. No, 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 no. No one said go use it. I commandeered those rooms, in secret. No one knew I was doing this at work. So, at my office, during COVID, I was part of an essential workers team. I was a receptionist, let's just put it like that. I'm not that anymore, good luck trying to find me. Um, so I had to come in and sit at the front desk for stupid idiots that wanted to come into the office during a pandemic. Yeah, that was fun. So, what would happen though is that every once in a while, my boss would be like, "Okay, you need to go up, stretch your legs. You're gonna go crazy if you sit here doing nothing. So, go shoo shoo explore office." So, I had an entire office building, all of one, two, three, four, 5 floors on one side, 3 floors on the other connecting side of the building, to myself basically, and my teammates, which was 2 other people. That's a lot of area to explore. And I was just starting to get into the VA world and everything. And I kind of stumbled upon the the video teams space because we do in-house video trainings for how to use our software and whatnot. You know what those rooms had? They had really good recording booths with really good mics that were just made that you could plug it into any computer and you didn't even need a software for it. You could just go. Like soundproofed from floor to ceiling, mics that I'm using right now to stream, and like, what's it called? The oh my goodness, the foam like in front of the mic in order to block it. And all I had to do was plug it in to my computer, my little Surface at the time, and that was it. I was like, I did it
Miss
once, and I was so scared that I was gonna get caught. And that was during one of the first, I think, Pen episodes. I think it was either Sasha's first episode or somebody else. And I listened back to it, and I was like, the quality was amazing. It was wonderful quality. I didn't have to do any like sound editing or anything like that. I had the space to myself. Nobody caught me. No one came in. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing this. And I kept doing it for as long as we owned that building. And then we sold the building, and I can't do that anymore. Thank God Nomad
Miss
comes with a booth, because that would have
Serenity.
sucked.
That is a gross misappropriation of company resources.
Having me come in during pandemic and not paying me hazard pay
I
was a gross misappropriation of my time. So I took my compensation in using company materials for my side gig, apparently, at the
I
time.
have to ask because I know if I don't, chat will murder me. I'm hoping this was all the SFW side of
Oh,
your
this was
recordings, correct?
none of the not safe
Okay.
for I didn't record one not
Okay.
safe for work in that. That was saved for the closet much later on.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I'm imagining like I'm like a
No.
poor janitor or something, and I open and it's just Eris like full bore moaning in a booth, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna close this. You just okay. I'm gonna
No.
go over there.
No, 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 no. The good thing is the door's locked from the inside.
Okay. Okay,
So
that's
I wouldn't
better.
ever have to worry about someone, but no. No, 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 no. That was Eris went back into the closet for those moments, happily.
Get
But
back in
no,
the
no, no, no.
closet, Eris. Get back in the closet.
She did, I did. But
Oh
yeah,
no.
no. It was
We c-
all safe for work, I promise.
we can't say that during Pride Month. Girl, you proudly step out of that closet. Um, um, do you think starting out, I guess two things. One, did you have to talk yourself past anything, or was it pretty natural to start? And two, um, did you trust the process in the beginning? Like, could you have ever thought that you'd be here now, almost 6 years later?
Ooh, so at the beginning, I practiced what I preach apparently, and I just did it. Like I got into a phone booth with my stupid little iPhone mic, my iPhone, on my voice memo thing, and just recorded the first episode of the pen with Eve. Obviously that recording is no longer up because it's remastered and I redid it. So we don't reference that first recording ever again. Um, but honestly, I just was like, okay, if I think about it too much, I'm never gonna put it up. So make a YouTube channel. Okay, I can post stuff now. Do. It's up. Don't look. Don't look. Don't acknowledge. Don't read the comments. Just look away. And if you still feel okay about it the next day, maybe keep going. And I was like, okay, this one did okay. So then I did another one, and then another one, and then another, and then it kind of just snowballed. And I was like, I'm liking how this is feeling.
Wow.
I will say I did get discouraged in the beginning because all of my people around me that were starting, including Nomad, that first year and a half just shot to 20,000, like right off the bat. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I knew what I was doing wrong. I was making a certain niche of content. I was doing monster listeners. And everybody wants the monster girl, everybody wants the vampire girl, the werewolf girl over and over and over
Yeah, of
again. I was like,
course.
fuck, no, I'm not doing that. That is so boring. There's 1,000 people that do that. I want to tell my story and everything and whatnot. So so there were a few times that I didn't trust the process, and Nomad was pretty much the one that kept me on point when I was living with him, because I was like, dude, I am on year 4 now, and I have not broken 20 yet. And I'm seeing everyone that's starting and everyone that's come up after me break 20 in their first year. And I'm on year almost 4, and I still haven't even broken the fucking 10,000s yet. I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I need to do, but I really don't want to do it. And anytime that I tried to do it, I would get no fucking views. Like YouTube was like, no, this is not your corner. Get back in your corner. Go back over there. Go. It was like, well, fuck. So okay, so I'm damned if I do, and if I'm damned if I don't. So I'm stuck in this limbo. So when I finally did hit the 20,000 mark, I like breathed like a sigh of relief. Like, okay, I broke it finally. It took a lot of perseverance and spite, and I did not do it the easy way, which was very much my own fucking fault. I have no one else to blame but me for that. But it was very much a a that was a trust the process moment. It was a trust that you'll keep finding the right people that love your stuff and want to hear more of your stories and want to be more immersed in that world. And I did, and it's been slowly growing a little bit more. And then with the Twitch stuff too, it's finding that community and everything and whatnot there. Twitch, I was a little bit more apprehensive with. I'm not a very good gamer. I was so scared about streaming my first Twitch game. And now I'm like, it's something that I look forward to because it's like, okay, I bring people joy and people get to fucking take the shit, with me, and I'm okay with it. So yeah, there was a lot of trust the process moments there. And honestly, there was points where, and there's still points where I'm like, the process sucks. I don't like the process. I don't want to trust the process anymore. So
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. Sorry, my mom called me, which she never does. Tried to read my
oh,
text, but I was like a little bit off topic. Do you ever have like a family member who you never hear from? They like call you and you're like, oh my God. I was like, oh shit. I
abso-fucking-lutely.
was like, am I gonna have to end this? But no, it's good news.
Oh,
So
good.
I'll call her back later. No, that's so true though. I guess like kind of off that, you talked about like sometime like sort of going your own way, being a bit different. Was there a moment where something you made landed for someone else in a way that you didn't expect? Kind of this first realization, like, wow, this is actually something that is reaching people in a way.
Um, I think it was the first time that I actually touched on a trigger warning, by the way, that I touched on SA. Um, which if you don't know what that means, look it up because I don't want to say that on stream, those two words. Um, but I think it was a comment that it was someone saying, "Thank you for doing this." Because hearing a character go through it and then being the one to comfort them kind of helped me to be able to open up a little bit more and seek that comfort for myself. And it was like at that moment that I was like, "Oh, wait, something I did actually like impacted someone, and not just like, "I love your story and I had so much fun listening." It was actually, like, impactful. It was definitely, I think it was either Iris or it was, someone else, which Iris is one of my better storylines that people are always going back to. But it was definitely a a wow moment, and
Mhm.
anytime that I do something like that, I usually get a comment. Also, the, one of the ones that actually was another impactful one was one of my Pride audios, which was one where I'm talking to the listener, and listeners just came out as gay, and their family's kind of like trying to make them go to conversion camp, um, which was a story that I was asked to do. And I did it and was like, I got so many wonderful responses back from that. Anywhere from, God, I wish I had a sister like you, to thank you because I wish I had this when I was younger, or I wish I had this when I just came out this year and I didn't have that support. So just having this audio helped with something. So it was like it's audios like that I touch on, that I'm always worried about how they're gonna land, because they are sensitive topics.
Yeah.
And I approach them with very much like hesitancy. And it's not hesitancy because I don't want to do them, it's hesitancy because I don't want to do them, you know, not well.
Yeah.
I don't want to, you know. So I'm always kind of like, when it comes to those audios, but even when it comes to kind of like lighter audios, it's like, thank you so much. I needed this. I needed a laugh. I needed to get away for 5 seconds or a little bit. Thank you for allowing me to, like, smile today again. I've had the worst day today. Stuff like that, which is just always great to see and hear, and it's just nice.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling because yay, people like my stuff, but also yay, I'm helping to have helping someone have a better day.
I think that's so true, and I mean, obviously, you always wanna be cautious when you approach those hard
Yeah.
topics, but also I think even just, I think a lot of us live privileged lives and have the spaces to talk about these things, but some people don't, right? They live in places where the idea of coming out is crazy, or just not even an option. And so I think just, and part of the reason why even I started to create was, I think spaces where people talk about these just to talk about them are very important. And I think even just hearing people talk about it makes it feel more normal. A lot of this stuff, trigger warning stuff, things about life or struggles or hardships you've gone through. I think a lot of it is just knowing that you're not alone and that other people have done that, and there's a community and there's a shared experience. You don't have to feel isolated. So,
Mhm. That that's incredibly correct. It's something that, we don't really think about, especially in places that we are in, but then you hear these stories and you're like, "Wow, that's," like, I can't imagine not having enough love or compassion for somebody to not be with them for something so vulnerable like that.
mhm.
But there are places like that, unfortunately. So to be able to create a space or just a moment in time where they're safe is everything, and I think that's the most rewarding part about doing this.
Yeah. I can't agree more. I think that's a perfect draw into my next question is, when you look back at where this all started for you, what do you think you were really looking for?
Connection, which I think, giving the time that I started this, I feel like that was a lot of people, because it's really easy to wanna be an introvert when you have the choice,
Mhm.
but humans in their nature are social creatures, so even introverts need human interaction every once in a while, or at least
Mhm.
just to get outside the house. So, I feel like connection was probably one, a sense of community was probably another. I was in a new area, and yeah, I had friends with me, I had a new friend group, but I was still trying to find my place within the friend group.
Yeah.
It was the first real time I was out on my own from my family, um, and everything was just so new and so fresh, and then throw in COVID, it was like, "Oh my god, okay. Everything is not how I expected it to be, and that's okay, and I'm gonna have to get on board with that, but I was probably looking for connection, community, and probably an escape at points. And doing the voice acting was helping with that. So I think that's kind of what I was looking for, and I found the community, which was great, and I built it. I built one of my own, which is amazing. And I found friends that are now more like family than anything to me.
Mhm.
Um, and that's all amazing. And I didn't think I would ever find that doing this for this long. I didn't think I would be ever doing this for this long, to be quite frank. The fact that I'm coming on 6 years is mind boggling. If you told
Yeah.
me at the beginning of COVID when I first started doing this, hey, you're still going to be doing this 6 years later, I would have looked at you and been like, what patience did I muster up in order to keep fucking doing this? What are you talking about? This is just for fun. This is not going to turn into anything. This is just a hobby. It's like, no, it's going to turn into something that you have no idea what this is going to turn into, and that's going to be okay. So it yeah, I guess I never really thought about that if I was really looking for anything while doing it. I think I just wanted to just try it and have fun and just do something new, considering that everything else that I wanted to do that was new, like going to bars, exploring the city, living my 20s the way I thought I was going to and everything, my late 20s, after, college and whatnot, kind of got upheaved. It was like, okay, well, I guess what do we do now? And this is what I landed on. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, it's been so impactful on your life, but 6 years is a long time to keep showing up for something that's not easy.
Mm-mm.
What were you holding on to the days where it was really hard?
Um, Definitely a lot of spite, and I say that I feel like people think I mean that as a joke, but it was actually quite true. It was a lot of like, "Ugh, fuck it, no, I'm not gonna let me not doing as well as others because I'm doing it the harder way be my downfall. I can take the easy road out. I know what the easy road is, but I'm going to look back on myself and go, I hate everything that I just created. I don't like any of it. I didn't want to do it. I wasn't going to let something, dictate what I could or could not put out. Um but also it was a lot of encouragement from Nomad, from my IRL friends. It's not something that I ever really actually talk about with my friends over on this side because, um, Shizu is a little bit different. Shizu and I have a lot of late night talks, but I don't ever want them to think that, that I don't appreciate their support or anything, or that I'm taking it in vain because it got hard or anything. And I know how blessed I am to have a support group like them. Like Tonks and Shrieky, Yasha, who's been with me since the beginning. So, and of course, Nomad, who's my biggest fucking cheerleader, support system, and everything. And I know that sounds really corny. I'm sorry, everyone, for giving you cavities, but it's true. So, and I talk about it with him, and he's one of the biggest components of. Do you actually want to quit? Is this a in the moment thing, or are you actually thinking about quitting? And would you be okay with quitting? Would you look a week later and be like, I regret stopping, or would you look a week later and be like, this was the best decision for me? And usually it's the latter. I mean, it's not the latter, it's the former. It's I would regret it. I would regret stopping just because it got hard. Cuz nothing in life worth doing is easy, right? So this is something that I feel like is worth doing for me. So I it's definitely support system has been my biggest component, and my RL friends always saying, I don't know how you do it, and I know we make fun of you because we call you a workaholic, you and Nomad, but we're so fucking proud of you. Like, just the other day, we were at a birthday party for one of them, and my oldest friend of, like, 15 years, Toaster, um, was showing me off to everyone. He's like, I'm so proud of this girl. Like, you have no idea. She's been doing this for 6 years. She's got 20,000 people listening to her stuff on YouTube. She didn't quit. And all of us have said, let's start a podcast. Let's start streaming. And this one did it. And I'm like, you are so drunk right now, but I love you because you right now. What did you do recently? What are you about to drop on my head that you are buttering me up right now?
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of friendship we have.
Well,
But
or they don't see you showing off yourself, you know? Sometimes
Yeah.
we all have those friends who are like, they're quiet, introverted, but they're doing amazing things. And like, if you're not going to brag about them, then I'm going to.
Oh yeah, he is very much that. He is like, "You have no idea. You have no idea." And he's like, I am always very grateful to him because him and Umber are some of my biggest cheerleaders because they were there at the beginning too.
Hmm.
When they found out, they gave me the most shit and they also gave me the most love. It was in equal parts. It
I
was,
mean,
"Wow, RP, huh?" And then it was when they saw that I was trailing, they were like, no, 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 you're doing this. You got the mic, you got the software, you have everything, you have stories you wanna tell. Don't chicken out." And it's like, "Oh, okay, fair enough." So they're the ones that kept me going in the beginning, but it's been Nomad and my friend group, the ones that, are carrying me now, and to have a bigger support system is just wonderful. That and spite.
yeah, a little bit of support,
A
a
little
little
bit
bit
of
of
spite.
spite. I mean, I truly do think it like takes a village, and even when we look at the body of work, right?
Yeah.
We see the final product, but man, ever since I started doing this, like I see I'm gonna call it like the unseen labor in the background, the writing, the editing, the soundscaping, the stupid advertising.
Well, yeah, and now that you've been doing it yourself, you have a little bit more appreciation for it. Because from the outside, it does seem like, oh, you just stand in front of a mic and then you put some things behind it and then you put it up on YouTube. It's totally easy. It's not until people start actually doing it that they're like, how do you do this? I'm going crazy just looking for one sound effect, or how do I do shorts? Or how the hell do I get people to come and watch and listen while like I don't know how to do any of this, and then finally you're like, "Oh, wait, this isn't as easy as it looked."
Oh my god, shorts are the
So,
bane of my existence.
ugh, I
Also,
haven't done any in a while, so I need to get on that train again.
one of the things I never realized is how loudly I breathe. Like, you don't realize, but when you're like growling into a mic like this, you have to breathe, and all you hear in the recording is like that sharp intake of breath, and you're like, stop fucking breathing.
Honestly, you did really well for your growl off. I was very proud of you considering the fact that this is not that is not your bread and butter there.
I
You did pretty
mean,
good.
I was a man among titans. I mean, come on. Vogue, Tonks, Scrub, like, come on.
Yeah. Mhm.
I would do really well in like a neg off or like a side-handed compliment off. Um, um, let's see. Okay, we're going into ads in about 4 minutes.
Okay,
I think let's talk in that time. You've been
okay.
doing this long enough. Like I said, the shine has probably had times to wear a bit in places. What's worn? What do you feel like, whether it's creating or consuming this type of content? Like, what has gotten hard?
Ah, that's a long list. Ooh, coming up with new ideas,
Yeah.
sticking with old ideas, finishing stories. Actually, I found a lot of stories where I'm just writer's blocked with them, like full on. Forget wall. There's an entire castle with a moat of writer's block in my way of me and ending the story. Um, trying to keep it fresh, trying to keep it new, because obviously keep doing something for 6 years over and over and over again. You're like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna go insane because that literally is the definition of insanity. Is just doing the same thing over and over and over and over. It's like every once in a while you need to freshen it up, either with a new gift tuber from Pally or a new venture to do something else or a new site that you want to try or switching up the Patreon tiers or going back and remastering stuff that I listen to now and I'm like, "Oh, that quality is so bad.
Yeah.
Why is it still up on my channel?" Um, so stuff like that. Uh, I think the biggest thing that's lost its shine is I don't know, is actually, like, the creating process and the excitement of putting something out.
Mhm.
Which sounds awful because I still love creating and I still love putting things out. But there used to be this buzz I used to get, like, this shakiness, this, like, anticipation of, "Oh my god, are people gonna like it? Are we gonna break a certain amount of views? Da, 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 da." Now it's like, "Okay, it's up. Time to go, do laundry or wash the
Yeah.
dishes or watch my show or play a cozy game." Um, and I think yeah, I think that was probably the biggest shine that I saw depleting was the anxiety that performance anxiety that came with, putting something up and putting it out to the world, which, every once in a while, when I do something, like, really good, like, I do, like, a really good improv or something, I get that little twinge back of, "Ooh, I really hope people like this.
Mm.
This is a good one.
I
This is this
mean,
was this is a good one."
I'm waiting for the Eris musical. That's what I'm waiting for.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I heard you sing on stream, and now I'm waiting for the full length Eris musical. Well, you have some incredibly musical friends, like
Mhm.
some people can really hit the beat. I'm waiting for a VA. Like I want like a full length, like epic style musical.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
uh, no. Shizu, Rev, they can take that, I am not good at singing, no.
I mean, I don't know. I've heard this is coming from the girl who says, "I'm not gonna sing on this stream," and then breaks out into song while chat just looks
It's
on.
It's so hard though when you listen to a song that you said jam out to. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I will always sing along to Papa Roach, to
Yeah.
Sleep Token, to Linkin Park, to Panic
Oh
at the
my
Disco.
god.
I'm sorry. I will always. Fall Out Boy, always.
They're in ads now, but for those of you who are here, fun fact, I actually know the Panic at the Disco guys.
I
Yeah,
am
so here's a little Dom lore while everyone else is in
Okay.
break. So, when I was a little middle schooler dude, um, I got like, and this is not a brag because it was just happened to be chance. I got recruited into like a gifted and talented school. And I made friends with the principal because at its core, I am a teacher's pet. Um, and he was like, "Hey," so I was like, this fast forward a couple of years, like I knew my principal really well. And he was like, "Hey," he's like, "I got some friends coming into town and we're gonna go get drinks." And like, he was a single guy and he was like, "Would you be like willing to like drive us?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah, whatever. Yeah, like whatever is." And so he calls me and I go to the bar to pick him up and I was like 18 at this time so I could get in. And he was hanging out with his old buddies who were Panic at the Disco.
What the fuck?
And I had no idea, and so I was, like, chatting with them. I was like, "What do you do?" And they're like, "Oh, we're in a band." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool, like, it must be cool to have, like, a successful principal as a friend." And they were like, "Yeah." Meanwhile, they're Panic at the Disco,
The
and then
Panic at the Disco.
and I had no idea, and then the next day, they did a surprise concert at our school, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Panic at the Disco."
Honestly,
Oh,
it probably
man.
came off really well for you that you didn't freak out and you were just, like, very calm and chill and whatnot, and you were just like, "Yeah, that's cool," da, 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 da. I
Yeah.
bet it kind of endeared you a little bit more to them rather than, starting to freak out that they're Panic at the Disco.
I was just buttering up the principal because I know I was gonna get a B in a class and I was gonna lose valedictorian. I was like so not here for it. I was trying I was like I asked him a couple days later and he was like, I'm not gonna change your grades. I was like, damn it.
Aw.
That's right. I was a
You
little
tried.
nerd. I was a little
You
nerd.
tried.
I can't help it. Sometimes I try to take the right road, but when it fails, I try to take the easy one.
I was gonna say. Lessons from Dom: when the right road doesn't work out, try the easy one.
I mean, success is the only thing that matters. You should try to get there the right way, but if not, having a friend in the right place is the way to go.
Damn, Dom.
I'm sorry, okay? I know chat is very, impressionable, and I'm just trying to impress them with the right
Oh
values.
my god. Taking notes. I just looked over it. Speaking of chat, I just looked over taking notes.
Uh,
Oh god, what have you done?
oh,
You have to be a better influence. You have power now. And to quote Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. You must do
Miss
better.
Eris Serenity, I am a fantastic influence. Fantastic. You can take some
Barring
notes
everything he
too.
just said until now.
Yeah, from now on, I am gonna be a fantastic influence. Um, all right. Um, Creating
Mhm.
means that you and I know this, like, it changes the way you consume. You see the machinery in the background, you see the process. Is there anything in doing this that you feel like you've lost?
Ooh, ignorance is bliss. In this
Mhm.
case, I've lost the ability to actually just sit and enjoy an audio. 'Cause now I'll try every once in a while to just, like, when I'm working at my 9 to 5, "Oh, that looks like a cool concept to, just maybe just listen to and enjoy as a listener. Let's see if" "Sir, your mouth is clicking. Please remove your please remove the breaths. You didn't need that. You need to leave space for the listener to actually respond. I'm being taken out. Oh my god, what is this background noise? What are you doing? No, that's not the right sound effect for that. You shouldn't do that. That is probably not what the author meant by being sarcastic or something. Please stop reading and actually emote every once in a while. That'd be great. Thank you. That is welcome to the conversation that is in my head when I listen to RP sometimes. And every once in a while I'll find a good piece and it's like and I can actually just get into it. But then other questions. Shit, where did they get their sound effects from? What mic are they running? I wonder what their interface is. Are they using DaVinci or something else in order to edit everything? This sounds really, really good. Is it because it's just their voice? Are they using Reaper, Audacity, WavePad? Like, what is your sound? Like, what is your pro? Nope, there is no more enjoyment in audio RP. It is also, I can no longer listen to Cardlin or Dade or any of them because I know the motherfuckers now. And
Yeah.
listening to them on their audios, which they were some of the first people that except for Dade joined the community same time I did. Like Cardlin was one of the first ones that I like deep dived into, and I like ran through his catalog in like a couple of months. I think that's a lot of catalog to run through for Cardlin. It was COVID, guys. Sue me, and a couple of other people that are no longer in the community, but like I ran through their catalog so fucking quick. And now if you asked me to listen to something that JC did, I'm gonna politely decline. I know that man way too fucking well now, and I know his editors and his writers. Like Lexi and I are basically the same freaking person dating the same freaking guy. It's like, no, I can't listen. No, we're not doing this. It is everything is off the table at this point. So I will say the blissful ignorance of just being a listener. I've that is gone. That has been gone for a long time now.
It is really really funny you say that because I have a habit of going in and listening to your audios and leaving ridiculous comments that I really
You do.
enjoy. But it is really weird because it'll be like girlfriend Eris, and I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
like, oh, like that's little sister, like
Yeah.
I don't want like my little sister Gorgon being like, let
It's
me
the same
wrap
thing
you in
with
my
listening to
scales.
either, JC or Date. It's like, "Oh god, these guys are like my older brothers." Like, "Oh, make it stop, make it stop. No, no, no.
Hmm.
Turn off. Next YouTube, something, anything short. Doom scroll, please." It is the funniest thing, and I can't listen to any of my friends. Like, I'll if they ask me to, like, review something or help them edit something, that's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
But if it's actually, like, listening to them, um, It is one
Oh,
of those, like, no, 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 no.
I
I
I
love you, no.
I edit all my friends' audios, but only the spicy ones. Like, that's all I edit all the time. It's actually
No.
my day job. I could. Don't at me. Don't at me.
He is not. His offices are closed, guys. That's not what he
Yeah.
does.
Well, they're closed for other reasons, but
Yes.
um, is there a version? So you talk about like missing just being a listener, but I think I'm gonna ask something a little different. What if we take out ASMR Eris? What if this had never happened? Do you ever think
Mhm.
about what that version of you is? Because without ASMR, there's no nomad, right?
Oh, that's yeah, okay, we're gonna go
Yeah.
sad. Okay,
I don't think sad because you are such a competent human. You would have figured it out. I'm just asking, like, did you ever think about how this one thing has had such an impact on your life?
oh, yeah. There's been a lot of moments in my life that, "What if I had never done this? What if I had never done that? What if I never started ASMR?" Um, there are a lot of moments that I look back on, and it's like that one turning point in your life that lets is like, "Oh, shit, that this has impacted my life so much." Um, honestly, I would've still had my IRL group. That came
Mhm.
with me. That was mine before I even started any of this. Probably would've still been living with the guys, which would've been fine. I don't mind. I didn't mind living with them. They're an amazing group of men, and I'm very lucky to have them in my life. So that would've stayed the same. Um, my family life still would've stayed the same, so that wouldn't have changed. My job would've stayed the same. I think my life would have been a little bit more floundering. I think I would have been a little less fulfilled.
Mhm.
Um, I think I would have been still trying to find that piece of myself that this does help to fill the creative side. And I think there would have been a lot more stories still in my
Yeah.
Microsoft Word folders that would have never been told and
Your
never seen the light of day.
your fanfic folders.
Yes, my fanfic folders.
Yeah. You would have been
Ignore all
huge
the
on
original
Wattpad.
stories that you see on the shelf. Don't look at the bookshelf that I have behind me.
I
But
could have seen you going mainstream and being like a writer. I could have absolutely
I
seen that for
always
you.
I always wanted to, like, my big thing was always trying to be like a script writer
Mhm.
for shows, podcasts, anything like that. Um, yeah, wow, I can't even imagine my life without doing this. It's been that long, but I guess I would have had a lot more free time. I think I
Yeah.
would have probably explored more. I don't know if I would have traveled more, um,
Mhm.
but I think I would have explored more. I probably still would be single. I believe that in my heart of hearts. I think
Damn.
I was not looking for a relationship when I found Nomad, and like I found Nomad, and then that took off. So that was not me looking for anything. That was me just being like, oh, so this is what it's supposed to feel like when you find your person.
Yeah.
This is new. I've never felt like this before.
Well,
So I probably still would have been having fun in that sense. I probably would still been
oh
single.
my
Um,
god, that's terrifying. Single Aries is terrifying.
lot more
Everyone,
tequila. Lot
we
more
need
tequila.
we need to maintain Nomad's health as much as possible. We're putting him on new exercise regime. Single Aries would be an issue. Um,
It wouldn't be that much of an
oh,
issue.
speaking of tequila, I have a drink for you. I did,
Oh,
do you know what Calpico is?
pico?
No,
Like a
it's called Calpico. It's a Korean, like
uh,
juice brand.
okay, I no, I do not. Uh-uh.
Okay. I did lychee Calpico with some pineapple and tequila last night. Oh, girl.
Oh,
Oh, girl,
that's
it was
okay.
good.
Because I've had is it lychee or lychee? Because I've had the actual fruit itself, and I love it. I also found out you shouldn't eat that much of it. My coworker had to stop me. He was like, "That's enough," and I'm like, "But why?" He's like, "Trust me. That's enough. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Also, dragon
But
fruit, apparently, you should not eat too much of. I
yeah,
learned that
that
the
one
hard way as
too.
well.
There are certain fruits that you need to have sparingly. They're good for you, but they're like,
In
but that sounds
moderation.
amazing.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll you know what? I'll mail some to you. It was great, and I had 5 of them last night, and I felt no pain after that.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Well, it's a
um,
lot of vitamin C, so
yeah, yeah, I need vitamin C, although the sun's shining today. Um, you
it's
it's
vitamin D.
it's okay, it's all the same. Um, one of the things you just touched on, you were talking about single Eris, lots of tequila, maybe being a bit of a problem. That's very different than the version of you I know because you try to mom everyone. Everyone
Oh,
you
yeah.
meet, you try to mom.
Mhm.
Um, you've always struck me as someone who takes care of the people around them. Has that always been true? Is that very much like first generation Latino oldest daughter had to take care of the family? Or is that something
Yep.
that you grew into?
No, that was conditioned to me from a young age. I was very much told, you have to look after them. You're the eldest. You need to set a good example. Hey, why is he doing that? Why aren't you watching him? Honey, what's going on? You should have controlled. Okay, fine, fuck it.
Mm,
So yeah, I was trained to basically be that person and everything and whatnot. So, and it's something that I'm trying to unlearn. Um,
you should.
I don't want to be too much of them. Like I don't mind. Like I don't mind having like the bag and being like, here, you moron, please go clean the blood off yourself. I don't want that anywhere near me. Um, I'm a little bit meaner with my momming in real life. Like you're a
Mhm.
fucking idiot. Just come with me. I'll handle this. Like, and everything. And every once in a while I have to remember that my friends are adults in their own rights and can take care of themselves. Like they're not kids that I have to take care of, even though I mean I'm a little bit older than some of them.
It
So
is
it has been very hard to unlearn a lot of the momming.
it is funny because I think you'll eventually evolve into what I am. Like, I'm definitely not the group dad. But I am the responsible one when shit hits the fan. Like, I can step up and do what needs to get done. And, like, I don't carry bandages, but, like, if you fucking fall off a Lime scooter and, like, rip a bunch of skin off your knee, like, I'll fucking carry you to the nearest urgent care and, like, be like, sit the fuck down. Like, we're taking care of this. But it's also really good, I think, and something I think you're maybe learning. You don't always have to be that person. You're allowed to also be a little bit of a problem sometimes. And I hope you embrace more of that.
Yeah,
Um, uh,
I love being a problem. Being a problem is great, and
yeah,
Nomad facilitates it a lot. And my the friend group is learning to realize that, oh, I like this new Eris. This is fun Eris.
uh,
She gets up to some bullshit, and we can enjoy this. But then there's always that flip that switch when that flip
someone
that
needs it.
switch that flips. There we go. When bullshit just gets a little too much bullshit, and then it's like, oh no 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 no. Okay, we need it. There's the ledge. We need to come back from the ledge, please.
So is Nomad that person to you? That person who you know, who you trust to like sort of take the reins on that sometimes?
Oh, absolutely. Nomad is definitely a person that is also very much, a okay, when shit hits the fan, I'm going to be the one taking care of it. I'm available. I am okay with this, but he's also very much a shit instigator in his own right sometimes too,
No
which is
way.
great because it is a very good reminder of, you know, we could both have fun and we'll both be okay and the world won't end.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully you can both be a problem at the same time someday, because I think that would be amazing.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
there's been a couple of times where we make jokes that we're like, if we would look at each other, we're like, if anybody else heard us right now, oh my god, we'd be in so much trouble.
um, I think you're the mom. You're always taking care of people. Do you find it easy to let people take care of you, or is that something that doesn't just come naturally to you?
Before I was in my relationship, very hard. Like
Mhm.
I was always self-sufficient. I always took care of my shit. I didn't need anybody taking care of me, and I got my own shit done, and that was it. Um, During COVID, actually, I think is when that started to crack, and my friend Toaster got in my face a little bit. He's like, "You don't have to carry this all on your fucking shoulders. Let us
Yeah.
help you because we're all going through the same thing right now." And that's when it started to crack a little bit, like, you know, letting them be a little bit more kind with me, a little bit more open, a little bit more vulnerable. When Nomad came, it was like, okay, I have a partner now, not a child I need to take care of. I have
Mhm.
someone that's going to support me in the background, and my friend group doing the same thing, reaching out when stuff is going wrong, offering support wherever they can and whatnot, just being there, being able to play games with, talk to, and whatnot is a great help. So I'm learning that asking for help is not necessarily a bad thing. It's okay to show weakness every once in a while because otherwise I will just crack and break. And I'd rather every once in a while bend a little bit than just flat out breaking entirely.
That's so true. I always think people are like the oak or the elm. The oak is strong and durable, but the elm bends during the storm. I always thought
Yeah.
that was a beautiful metaphor. Um, you've said you rarely let loose, which I think is true. Is it the concern for other people that gets in the way of that, or is it a desire for self-control? What do you think it is? And, like, as you're trying to fix it, or not fix it,
I
as you're
would
trying to change it?
I would love to say it's a concern for other people. It's really a concern for past needs. I was
Mm,
not a great teenager growing up, and I flunked my first
really?
year out of college. There was too much partying and not enough discipline on my end.
Wow.
Um, which sucks because I worked really hard to get into that college. Like I went through an interview process and everything, and I got a scholarship and whatnot,
Mhm.
and all that fun stuff. But but what's it called? It was just one of those things that like when I came back home, my parents made me get a job and
Yeah.
made me go back to school. And immediately, guilt set in and everything because I'd wasted all that money. I wasted that year of my life, and now I was gonna have to try to make up for it and everything. And then my parents lost their jobs, and then everything just snowballed. And it was just an immense amount of guilt of, okay, you got your year. You got your year to let go and to be irresponsible and to not take life seriously. And look where that got you. And there's always that fear of, if I ever let myself fall down that path, will I be able to redirect when I need to? Or am I going to have to go through another moment where life is going to have to kick me in the ass in order to get me back on the right path again?
Yeah, and that I mean, that's so fair. Obviously, those of us I had a very similar experience in college, except I managed to balance it all, but I remember looking back and, like, I still love to have fun, go out, I'm occasionally a touch irresponsible at times, but I think especially now that we're older, I sort of, I always wondered when I was young, like, why don't people in their late 30s like go to clubs and stuff? You could not fucking catch me in a club these days. There's no
Mm-mm.
way. Like, give me the vibe of this show, like a nice, not crowded bar. Give me a couple nice, well-made cocktails and good group of friends around me. That's all the letting loose I need. Of course, like I call myself a weddings and funerals partier now. Special events only.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Like a big birthday party, like we just had a friend turn 30. That's the party that I was talking about. So that's like a milestone party. So that's like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, definitely. The most I drink nowadays is during family dinners when we get together, we call them. And that's like a glass of wine, a singular glass of wine.
Wow.
Or Nomad and I going on a date night to a bar or going out with friends to
Cute.
either eat tapas or something very meal shareable. So that way the
Mhm.
conversation gets to flow a little bit more nicely. I love tapa style or family style dinners. They're
Yes.
some of my favorite because it allows for conversation, which is great. And I am very much an enjoyer of that.
And it
But
allows
yeah.
you to try a little bit of everything on the table.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I love about
absolutely.
it.
Yes, they're great, but I the last time I went to a club, it was a goth night, and
Of course.
it was, like, years ago, and it's like, I cannot imagine doing that anymore. I think like, I did it, and it was fun, and then it was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna never do that again. I think I'm okay to be like, "Okay, yeah, give me drinks with friends," like, even at home, like, just a nice get together where we have, like, stuff on the grill going or whatnot,
Mm,
and it's, like, a great day, or beach day with friends, or anything like that, like, or just Nomad and myself, it's like, "Okay, this is heaven. This is my good day."
yeah. You
So
know, there is and I saw this during our pre-interview. There is a common thread of control. Like, I think you very much, which is maybe ironic because you are a level 99 brat. Like, I think you are someone in your personal life who maybe has historically liked to consolidate control. How does it feel to be on the other side of that right now?
For, like, control or for, like
For, like, obviously, well, maybe it's, I think to some extent, like, having a conversation like this, right, is kind of taking off the mask. Like, you didn't really know where this was gonna go. We had a
mm-mm.
pre-interview, but really, like, this is I'm taking us all on a journey that I've crafted based on what you've told me. And so does it feel weird to not be in the driver's seat?
It actually feels kinda nice because
Yeah.
it's not like, I love streaming. I love streaming on other people's channels more. I don't need to
Mhm.
do jack fucking shit except show up and talk into a mic, and I get to just have fun, and I'm finding out that as much as I love streaming and kinda playing host, there is something so relaxing about, "Hey, this is all on you. I'm just in front of a mic right now, and I'm just shooting the shit. This is wonderful." So, well, past me probably would have been like, I probably would have been sitting up a little bit straighter. I would have, probably been playing with my fingers and whatnot behind the scenes. Right now, I'm like slouched on my desk. I'm
Yeah.
lazily sipping at my coffee. I'm totally chill right now. So I'm loving this. This is wonderful.
Yeah. I love that for
I
you.
I don't like having control. I feel a need at some points for
Mm,
control. But for the most part, like if you ask me, where do you want to eat or where do you want to go or what do you want to do? My answer is always going to be, I don't
don't
know.
care.
And it's not because I don't know, it's because I don't really have the energy anymore to make those decisions, nor do I want to continuously make those decisions. It's one of the things I love and hate about Nomad. He is considerate to hell and back. But when
Yeah.
he ever asks me, what do you want to eat or where do you want to eat? I don't know. And it's not because I don't know, it's because I physically don't have the energy to make that decision anymore in my life. I've had to make that decision for my family of, okay, we're going to do this, 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 and this. Dad, bro, I need you to shut up and help mom and I with this, this, and this, and nothing else. Go away.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that. So it's like anytime that I get to give up control, it's taken many, many years to be okay with this. But it's like, oh my god, someone else is making the decision. Someone else is making the itinerary. Okay, just tell me when I need to show up, what I need
Yeah.
to be ready for. I'll be there.
I'm gonna drop something I've learned over many, many years. And if you struggle with a similar situation, like Eris just said, or mostly if your partner does, I'm gonna tell you the hack. Okay? The hack is this: depending on how much your partner trusts you, do either one of two things. Instead of saying, well, where do you want to go for dinner? You say, hey, here's three choices. Which one sounds best for you? Or if you really know your partner and they really trust you, what I did a couple days ago is I said, hey, babe, you need to be dressed like this. You need to be ready at this time. I'm going to take care of the rest. And we dressed casual. We went and we threw axes, which was awesome. And then we went to the tiniest little hole in the wall taco place and we had delicious tacos. Oh
Ooh.
my god. You know it's a good place when there's just two dudes cooking asada behind the counter. No English.
Mm.
No English was spoken.
Oh, yes.
and
That is
they served it
absolutely.
on those styrofoam plates, And
Mhm.
I literally I walked in there and I was like, "Yes, this is the place I was looking for." And we got 10 tacos for $42, which honestly, in this
Yo,
economy, pretty great.
I pray that's amazing.
Mhm. Um, so let's talk the future of Miss Serenity.
Oh boy.
When you imagine where this is all going, not as milestones or as, you know, concrete achievements, but what is the feeling that keeps you coming back? What are you chasing?
Um, mm, that's a really good question. I don't know if I'm actually chasing anything. I think I know I want to continue this for as long as I can. And then when I can no longer continue it and I feel like I can bow out gracefully and be like, okay, I created the community that I can. I
Mhm.
did what I could to make people feel happy and entertained, give a few laughs, hopefully, let people cry in a safe space. I think that would be the perfect ending is just knowing that I created a space for a while where people could be and people could just chill and everything. And then I could just bow out gracefully when I feel like I don't have anything more that I can give. Like I'm at the end of my rope completely. There is no recovery after this point. There is no
Mm.
long break or vacation or anything that I can go on that will fix this. I think I am done with the creative side now. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually chasing anything. I kind of just am enjoying it while I can and while this this passion for this is still in me. This want to just keep coming back in front of a mic over and over again. So
So, do you think there will be a day where Eris Serenity turns the last page?
I think so. I think there will be a day where we close the book on this chapter of my life and as a creative, which I know a lot of people are like, "Wait, don't say that." It's like, "Don't worry, that's much later down the road. I still got quite a few more years in me. Everybody relax, breathe."
Yeah,
But it is something that I'm like, I would love to continue this for I feel like every creator says, "I would love to continue this forever." But to be realistic, I would love to continue this for as long as I can without becoming bitter about it or cynical or turning my community into kind of like a toxic space.
yeah,
Once I feel like that starts happening, I think it's just better to just bow out gracefully and said, I done the best I could. I've put out the most good that I could. I made a safe space for people, but I think now is the right time to say, okay, this is the last stream, this is the last audio, this is the last, whatever happens next. And if I ever do decide to come back in any way, shape, or form, that'll be the next chapter. But for
yeah,
this, I've done what I can and I'm happy and I want to leave happy about it. I want to leave proud about what I did and I want to leave happy about what I did. And it'll be a very bittersweet day and I will be crying.
yeah.
And there'll be many tissue boxes, not tissues, tissue boxes that will be have gone through. But
I
yeah,
mean,
so
I think it's like reading a great book. It's like there's a
mhm,
very bittersweet moment at the end where we all know nothing lasts forever. You know, there is always the last note, the final song. You might get an encore, but I think part of what makes an experience incredible and part of what moves people is the fact that we always know that whatever we're doing, there's a time where it'll end. And I think maybe just knowing that, just appreciate it more because there will come a day where it is no longer part of what we do anymore. And so, all things end, whether it's the chapters of Eris Serenity or I don't know, even God YouTube itself will eventually go down one day. Um, but no, I mean, I think as a storyteller, one of the most difficult things, but perhaps the most important, is how you end. There's nothing more unsatisfying than a story that lingers for too long. And so I think that makes sense. Is there a type of story, a kind of character that feels like it was made for you, what really appeals to you? What keeps you coming back?
Ooh, a type of character. I love characters that feel like the world is on their shoulders and they need to take on everything because it's therapy in a way. It's
Mhm.
catharsis to kind of get out the things that I've never said to the people that sometimes I feel like put a lot on this me. Like there's some things I've yet to say to my parents
Yeah.
because I think that I'm not ready to have that emotional conversation with them yet. There are some things that I've just started saying to my friends now that they're like, "Damn, I wish you would have told us this earlier." And it's like, I didn't want to disappoint, or I didn't want you to worry about me and put more on your plate when you were already dealing with so much. And I love that type of character because it allows for a release in a way. And it's a little selfish of me because um as much as I love making it for the listener, I mainly make that character for me. Someone that it has to be strong, has to put on that face, but is really just on the inside a straw on the camel's back away from just breaking completely and not being able to get up again. So I love that character just because it hits so close to home, and it's just a very nice way for me to be like, tap into those feelings and just let it out.
It's cathartic,
So,
right? It's sometimes
oh
easier
yeah,
to put your emotions into words when you put on a mask. You could say, "Oh, this is the character, not really me," or you can say things you wish you could say, but maybe you I don't wanna say don't have the courage, but I think that's I mean, to me, that's like that's what role playing is. That's what D&D is, right? Exploring these sides
yeah,
of myself that maybe I never would in real life, just to like know what it feels like, know how it would be, and maybe to some extent to gain the confidence to maybe have those hard conversations.
yeah, and it's always kind of nice to add a little bit of yourself into each character.
Hmm.
Like if you ever ask me what character is most like me, I would say Eve. As much as Cypher is my voice, Eve is my childhood. It's that pressure that's put on you and that pressure to uphold family dreams and their expectations of you, and then turning around and going, no, that's not what I want for my life. That's not my version of success. That's not what I want to do. I don't agree with your beliefs. I'm now the black sheep of the family and you're going to have to either learn to love me or this is going to be very awkward at Thanksgiving. um but it is something that is great, and anytime I get to play that kind of character, it's like another weight is lifted off the shoulder, and it's like a little bit more of, okay, maybe I can talk to my mom and dad about this now and everything. Like we had um, a couple of discussions about some harder things. I think one of them was just recently, and I don't mind sharing this, is the fact that they never actually did anything to celebrate my college graduation.
Hmm.
Um, and they did for my brother. They threw a huge party. They're going down to one of the Virgin Islands this weekend with him
Wow.
and everything. And it was like, no, we couldn't do any. I didn't want to do anything, and I took a lot of the response. I was like, I didn't want to do anything. I graduated in winter. There's no way I wanted to go back and walk in freaking spring. I just wanted to get the fuck out of Connecticut. My grandmother, who was really close to us, was going through a health thing and died that year as well. So even if I wanted to walk, we were burying her down in Puerto Rico. There was just so much going on that year that it was like it didn't make sense to throw a graduation party. And it was funny because they apologized recently for it, and I was like, "Why are you apologizing for that?" We had already discussed this. There was so much discussion had about it, and and everything. Like, no, there really wasn't. There was a lot of you justifying what happened. There wasn't really a discussion about what happened, and it was like, oh wow, that was a big rock lifted off my back, and it was like, oh, this is a lot when Eve and her dad finally talked about their relationship, and it's like, oh, was I preparing myself for this conversation? Was I having practice runs while I was playing this character? Because I felt a
Yeah.
lot more equipped to have that conversation, so it was actually kind of cool and also scary at the same time.
No, I mean, I think that's the greatest benefit of sort of what we do. And, I know you're an ASM artist, but, when we talked about being storytellers. And I
Mhm.
think sometimes role play or RP, whether it's ASMR RP, D&D, even just telling stories in your mind, like it can really help prepare you for those difficult conversations. I know one of the things that I always struggled with was as successful as I am, as great as I've done, I will never be my older brother. He is the golden child, and it shocks people when they meet me because they say, "You're so successful. You've done everything that anyone would want a son to do." But like I'm not in the front of family photos. I'll never have the white picket fence, the two golden retrievers, the two beautiful daughters. Like that's just not going to be me. And so, um, you know, I tried to have those conversations with my parents about how that made me feel, how, you know, even though they were great parents, like there's still generational trauma. There's still things to work out. And for me, it was playing D&D with a character whose parents had passed. And it gave me that sort of immediacy of, hey, I'm in my 30s. My parents are in their 70s. I might not have forever to have these conversations. And so if I want to have them, if I want to get that closure, like I need to do that.
Mhm.
Um, no, that's so true. Um, I feel like taking the world on your shoulders is kind of a theme for you. Um, I think characters who do that really resonate with people because a lot of us feel like that sometimes. A lot of us put others ahead of ourselves. Do you feel like stories like that, therapeutic, obviously, as they are, do you really feel like that is what you explore? Like, is that really what resonates with you the most? Because I think it is.
It's one of the things that resonates with me the most. I think that anytime that you do something creative, it's a form of therapy, whether it's making music, drawing, voice acting, writing, even painting models can be therapeutic. It's a reflection of yourself in some way, shape, or form. Um, Even with Nomad, when it comes to working with his hands, it's a release of pent up energy and everything. With
Mhm.
me, it's confronting things that I don't necessarily have the courage, which is okay to say, the courage to confront at the moment, but know that I probably should start preparing myself to do it. Otherwise, I might not get the chance.
Uh, do you,
Um, oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, like, I think a lot of it is, you talked about basically helping raise some of your siblings. You did a lot of like unseen work, unseen labor. You probably grew up faster than you had to. Do you feel like a lot of the conversations are around that? Or do you think that's a root cause? Or I kind of I think I see a lot of this theme, and one of the themes I saw in our pre-interview is this idea of like unseen labor. And
There is
you've
a
kind
lot
of
of
touched the edges of it, but
there is a lot of unseen labor. There's a lot of things that I had to keep down because other things were happening. So
mhm,
I didn't want to bring it up because that wouldn't have helped anything or anybody.
yeah,
Um, More recently, it's been a release just because there have been a lot of moments where unfortunately people have passed and I haven't had been able to get that closure. So I'm
mhm,
trying more now to get closure
yeah,
because I hate the feeling of not having being able to get closure like that. Um and as I get older, as we both get older, you start to lose more people in your life than you gain.
yeah,
So it's just the symptom of the human condition. It's getting older, right? You
yeah,
start to going more funerals and everything, and hear about more people that pass and whatnot. And as we get older, it's just gonna get more and more frequent. So it's like so there is that theme of things that are left on the table,
mm,
and things that are not brought to light that gets touched on. But I think it's also themes of happiness, of letting yourself enjoy the moment, of letting yourself be okay with how things are, and not
Mhm.
everything needs to be resolved right away. I
Yeah.
think it's one of the things that I loved most about the slow burn actually was the wait.
Yeah, the
Like, because in
anticipation.
so many yeah, in so many RPs, by the end of the RP, it's like, "And they got together and lived happily ever after." That's not how life works most of the time. Most of the time, life is waiting and patience and learning and growing with that person that you're supposed to end up with. And I think that was one of my favorite ones because I got to, learn my friends and grow up with them and open up to them more and become another person. And there's a whole arc growth that happens with that slow burn that I know everybody hated, and I get it, but it was so much more satisfying when they finally got together because it's like, oh, these are two people that were in not great places when they first met each other, and they helped each other and they helped each other grow, and they can lean on each other now, not just in a romantic way but also in a friend way, in a family way, in a found family way. And yes, they do end up together romantically, but it was very much more of a connection builder.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with my life. I was able to form connections with people, and I wasn't, because of how I am personally, I wasn't able to automatically open up to them right away. It took time, it took
Yeah.
patience, it took courage opening up to them. And I think that's what drives a lot of my stories sometimes, especially with the slow burns, is that patience of letting someone see you in pieces rather than everything on the table at once.
Yeah. Wow. That's powerful. Um, you talked earlier about how you at times felt behind everyone else who was growing, but obviously now you're over 20K. You're pretty big creator. Um, is there a version of success that would feel like too much? How would you feel if your family listened to your audios?
Oh my god, no, they're not allowed. They know that I do this, and they're very proud because every year is like, "Okay, so we gotta ask, how are you doing this year? Like, what's your progress report?" And it's like, "Well, I'm making this much now, and now I do this, and now I do that, and I kind of have this many people watching me on Twitch." And they're like
Wow.
and I could just see my dad going, like, this little proud smile he gets, and my mom, this very proud smile that she gets. And because at the beginning, my family was, "Oh, you're gonna be a content creator? Okay, is this gonna be a hobby, or are you gonna quit your job?" Or like, "No, no, 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 I'm not quitting the 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 comes with health insurance. I'm not that naive." The 9 to 5 comes with health insurance, dental, eye, and a 401k plan. I'm not
Yeah.
quitting my 9 to 5 job.
Never
As
underestimate
much
the
as I would love
401k.
to. Yes. So I'm not that naive, but every year that I give them this progress report of how I'm doing, they just like are more and more proud. And then finally it came up and they were like, "How long have you been doing this for, by the way?" 6 years.
Yeah.
Holy crap, Eris. It's like, yeah, I know.
Wow.
It's kind of insane. But I think I've let my mother listen to The Wolf Shadow, which is a podcast I do on Spotify. Like if I actually did voice acting, like traditional voice acting work, they could listen to that. I'd be okay with that. But this kind of work is still a little weird and is a niche. It's odd. Like
It
whenever someone asks,
is.
like, if they find out, "Oh, you're a voice actor? What do you do?" Indie work. I do a lot of indie work.
I mean, it's
Which is
girlfriend
true.
RP, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it, of course, but it is something that is very much like a, "Oh, role play." It's like, "No, not that type of
Mhm.
role play. You
Mm,
f you get your
yeah,
head out of the gutter."
that's
But,
only on Patreon.
that's only on certain sites. What's it called? But yeah, no, it's definitely something that they know that I do, and they're supportive that I do, and they know that's how I met Nomad, is doing this work.
Mhm.
So, it's not something that I keep from them, but I this is gonna sound really, really cruel. I don't need my family to listen to my work to feel successful.
Yeah.
I just need my family to look at me and go, okay, and my mother has said this several times to me. "You're doing what you love and it's helping to support you and your partner." And that is incredible because how many people get to say that? How many people get to say they have a passion that is helping to support a life for them and the ones that they love. That's not common at all. So it's like, okay, yeah, that in itself is to hear that from my mom is big success.
Hey, all we want in the end is parental approval. I get it. Um, I'm gonna throw one out for the fans.
Ooh,
What's
okay.
still sitting in a notebook somewhere that hasn't made it to print yet?
So many things. Oh my god. um, there is a there are things that I would actually like to turn into traditional books because I don't feel either that or podcasts because I don't feel like they would play right with the RP medium, which is totally okay. Some story ideas will not play well with an RP medium, no matter how much I fangle them around or something.
Mhm.
Um, there, like I feel like really awkward saying these out loud. There's obviously a vampire one in there. There's one with a very much a practical magic inspired one.
Ooh,
Uh, except the main male character is a werewolf. And there's a
okay.
3-book series that I already have written out in my head. The rough drafts are in my Word documents, and I would either love to make that a podcast or a romance book. And I'm kind of leaning more towards romance book,
Okay,
so
well,
I would love to actually have a book out at some point. So
when you say romance book,
yeah,
is this like a fourth wing type situation? Or is it I don't, because I grew up and women always be like,
okay.
I'm reading romance books. I'm like, what does that mean? And then
It's
I read Fourth
okay.
Wing and
So
I'm like,
it's
damn.
it's not it's got some spicy scenes in
Okay.
it, but it's not fully based in that. It's more romance and some comedy and with maybe like a couple of chapters of that, and everybody knows what I mean
Mm-hmm.
when I say that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
A
but
couple
it's more
chapters. Wow.
yeah. And it's more of just telling the story of and basically the first book takes place in the 1990s. The second
Oh.
book takes place in the early 2000s going into 2010s, and then the third book takes place in modern day.
Wow,
So,
that's a true slow burn.
yeah. Well,
30
it's
years
it's
of
not
slow
with the same
burn.
characters. Yeah, it's not with the same characters. Like each book would revolve around a different main pair. But
Oh,
it
so
yeah.
okay, interesting. Eris, I mean, I'm
Like,
here for Eris
I have it all
books.
planned out. I've talked about this with Nomad. Like, I really wanna do that one. But it would have to be a traditional book, and then I'll hire all my friends to do the audiobook narration.
Wow.
So,
Um,
that is what I would try to do with that one.
do you
So,
already
yeah.
have like people in mind for characters?
Oh, yeah, obviously. It would definitely be, um ooh. I don't wanna say anything, though, because I don't wanna jinx anything, so I'm keeping
Okay,
that to
just
myself. But
just
yes, I
just
do. The
make
cast
me
listing is in the Word document,
just make
so
me the one who ends up with Nomad, okay? That's all I want. That's all
You
I
could be the
want.
token gay couple in the background of the
Yeah.
book.
Oh, 100%,
Oh
100%.
god.
We'll be the oh my god, what are they called? The plaid gays, like the plaid shirts. No, they're not plaid.
I'm okay with this.
Like the lumberjack shirts, the ones that they
Yeah, they're
wear.
plaid. They're
Yeah,
plaid.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be the lumberjack gays. I love that.
They'll go Brokeback Mountain on this bitch.
Yeah, yeah. We'll break some backs, that's for sure. Um,
Oh
if
my
you
god.
could make, so you obviously create a lot. Do you ever
Mhm,
just, and I know it's hard as a creator because to some extent like the algorithm is relentless and brutal.
mhm.
Um, do you ever make anything just for you?
Oh, absolutely. There are scenes that live in my head that I write down in a Word document just for me to get it out of my fucking head that will never see the light of day. Like, there's some cringe shit in notebooks and whatnot. There is fanfic that is just for me that will never see the light of day anywhere. There's a bunch of stuff that's just for me. There's book journals that I have that I do just for me. There is leather work that I do that's just for me that nobody else will see except for Nomad. There's a ton of stuff that I try to keep now to myself because I need that. I need stuff that especially creative stuff that's just me. And it's apart from Eris, it's apart from the community, it's apart from everybody. And as much as I love sharing stuff with everybody, I need my own shit. I need my own creative outlets that I don't need to worry about sharing with anybody. So,
I mean, yeah, I think that's so true. I mean,
mhm.
there's stuff that you share, but there's also stuff you create that's just for you. I also have folders and folders worth of, I'm gonna call it writing, but really it's like when I have an unsatisfying end to something I love, I'm like, let me write this better. Let me
Yeah.
fix this.
Oh,
Um,
I'm exactly the same way. Or like I have like D&D characters that are just for me.
mhm.
Like there's no campaign for them yet, but the day that comes up that there is a campaign worthy, they get to take out of the me box and they get to be shared with the public.
Oh
Because
yeah.
there are many D&D characters that I've rolled for, that I've written an entire backstory for. They are ready to be played, but I just needed to get the character out because they were living in my head for way too long.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I have any D&D player knows you build way more D&D characters than you use. So
Oh yeah.
I got reams of stacks of paper on full like 20-page backstories on characters that will never see the
Oh
light of
my
day.
god.
All right. As we kind of go towards the end so that we don't hit ads in 7 minutes. Um when they've spent a lot of time with your work, like I think a lot of people listening have, what do you want them not to think, but to feel? If someone were to go through your catalog and sort of walk away from it, what do you hope they carry with them?
That being vulnerable isn't weakness, and that you should always have faith in something. And I don't mean spiritual faith, though if you want to take it that way, be more than welcome to. But hopelessness is not a way to carry on in the world. You need to have faith in someone or something, whether that be your friends around you, your partner, your morals, what you believe in, a spiritual aspect, even, I get, if that, but going through the world without faith is going through the world bleak and cynical, and you can't live that way. You need to have faith in something, and if the very bare minimum, yourself. And I want people to kind of go through that. Like all my characters have a revolving theme of faith. There's faith in friends, there's faith in people, there's faith in the world around them. And I think one of the main things to take away from even the pen is faith. You must have faith. Um, and I kind of want that to be taken away. So in a world that's very gloomy and chaotic and volatile, and sometimes it's just easy to just shut oneself down and to just be very cynical and hardened and just very apathetic to everything. It's very important to have faith in something, in anything, especially yourself. And to just remember to carry that with you because you need to have that to keep going.
Damn, that's beautiful. That's powerful. What a way to end things. Um, wow, we took a real journey there. I feel moved, honestly. Like goddamn, you should be a
That was fun.
motivational speaker.
Oh god, no.
Um, yeah, no, I see it. I see the vision here. Um, thank you so much. I mean, this is everything I could have imagined it would be. Um, do you have any words for the audience as we sort of close out?
um Remember to have fun. Life's too short to be serious all the time, and take it from someone that's been serious until her 30s right now. Um Say yes to things that you might not have said yes to before because you never know where it's going to take you. Be open to having disagreements with people because seeing another point of view is sometimes helpful to you for your growth. Um, don't take everything personally. It's very easy to do that. Um, so just kind of remember to have an open mind. And yeah, definitely just enjoy life. We don't get a lot of it, so make the most of what you got right now. And always put out a little bit more good into the world than you do bad.
Yeah, I love it.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm so with that. Anything you're working on right now that you wanna plug, highlight, anything that's top of mind for you?
Whew, okay. We have the anniversary month coming up, so a lot of things will be announced then, including the complete remake of a series that people have been asking for a while. So
Oh,
keep an eye out for that. If you want to find out more, you can join the Discord over on Patreon because they get to have basically board meetings with me where they get to decide things.
alright, be right back,
um,
subbing to your Patreon.
and other than that, normal stuff for Pride Month. Thursdays are for the girls because I don't give the girls enough appreciation.
Damn.
So F for F audios every Thursday for all of Pride. But that is
Yeah, I
really
mean,
about it. And then on Tuesday, I play a horror game with Scrub. So
yeah, happy Pride Month.
happy Pride Month.
It's honestly my favorite month. They're doing I live in the gay neighborhood of my city, and so they're doing so many events, and it's just like, damn, amazing. So much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went out yesterday and got a temporary tattoo by a very
Ooh.
flamboyantly gay man who kept hitting on me, and I was like, "Thank you, that's my girlfriend right there."
You sound like my father when they went to P Town. My mother had to keep saying, see that ring on his finger? That means he's mine. That ring goes to this ring. Thank you. You have very good taste. He's off the market.
Very yeah, you mean you can't fault the taste, but it's
Yeah.
okay. There was a my lovely girlfriend also got chatted up a bunch, and I was like, "I don't blame you, but, that's mine."
Yeah. You can admire. She comes home with me. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a museum. You can look, but not you can't take the art
Don't
home with
touch.
you. Alright. Well, rather than going back into ads, we're gonna go ahead and move towards the end of the stream. Thank you guys so much for coming. Just a heads up, I'm going to celebrate a big family milestone next weekend, so there will be no talks between takes, but the boys will be back the following weekend for maybe a special episode. I don't know. Nomad said he was planning something, so let's see. But much love, chat. Stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And we will see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.